Tennessee over Indianapolis in this one. I think it's a close one. I'm going to go 23-20, Tennessee over Indianapolis.
I got Tennessee too, but 31-18. I don't think it's as close as we think it is. I don't.
Alrighty.
All right, 49ers in Baltimore.
Oh, this one should be a good one. I think that just to start off, I think Baltimore wins this. Part of it's because it is the 10 a.m. game, and West Coast teams, for the most part, tend to struggle in those. However, when it's a defense, when it's a defensive-minded team, the defenses tend to do better. You look at the Seahawks. Some of their 10 a.m. games, they've been a little more defense reliant the last few games, and because of that, they have played very well in those 10 o'clock a.m. games. I think that San Francisco will do the same. I don't trust Garoppolo really. He's been too back and forth in terms of his production overall. He's gone up against a couple of not very good defenses, which has kind of boosted his value recently. I still think he's a quarterback too. Tevin Coleman, I think that the offensive running game for San Francisco could struggle a little bit against this Baltimore defense. Baltimore's done a very good job of stopping the run, and really has allowed the passing game a little bit more to be utilized. Tevin Coleman does provide pass catching ability out of the backfield, so he still should be okay. I still see him in kind of that running back 22 to 25 range. As far as the wide receivers go, Deebo Samuel and Emmanuel Sanders. I think Emmanuel Sanders is going to be, for the most part, completely healthy from the rib injury. Deebo, I believe, provides flex to wide receiver 3 value. Emmanuel Sanders, the same. But both of them could provide, could surprise you and pop for wide receiver 2 numbers. So they're definitely guys that I think could provide value. George Kittle, he's, top 3 tight ends. So he's going to have value. He's going to be well utilized by Jimmy Garoppolo and should provide good value. You're not going to sit George Kittle. As far as Baltimore goes, Lamar Jackson is unsittable, period, hands down. Right now, he is in the lead for the MVP voting. And if you look at what he did against Seattle's defense, that plays very similar to San Francisco's defense, while he didn't do a whole lot in the passing game, it was his running ability and ability to get away from sacks that allowed him to help win that game against Seattle. So Lamar Jackson is the QB1. Mark Ingram could struggle a little bit this week, but still should provide running back 2 numbers. And I don't trust any of the wide receivers for the most part for Baltimore. I think when Baltimore wins this, it's going to be Lamar Jackson's legs that does it. So right. Mark Andrews still could provide wide receiver 1 numbers, but it's going to be low end tight end 1. Overall, I think that Baltimore probably wins this, but it's going to be a bit of a slugfest. And so I'm going to say Baltimore 17-14.
Yeah, I was actually going to say 27-24 in favor of the Ravens. So it will be close. I don't think I have both defenses too. I'm only going with Baltimore because they're at home out on the East Coast. Otherwise, it's a toss-up defense-wise. Philadelphia, Miami.
All right. Well, Philadelphia should as long as they have everyone healthy, should win this game no problem. Carson Wentz though really did struggle. So if they get much of a pass rush if Miami can develop any kind of a pass rush, Carson Wentz could struggle. But I think the matchup is good enough for Wentz to provide decent quarterback 2 value. As far as we know, Jordan Howard still isn't necessarily ready to come and play, so Miles Sanders, I think, is flex worthy. Alshon Jeffrey should be healthy for this week and provide, hopefully, wide receiver 3 numbers. Nelson Aguilar has dealt with so many drops. He is still and he's been out for a couple games. I don't think that he is going to be back this week. So it looks like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is going to get an extended amount of playing time. We'll see how that works. Jeffrey's the only guy I somewhat am willing to use in this game. Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert, I believe both are usable. Dallas Goedert more kind of the high-end tight end 2. Zach Ertz is a tight end 1. As far as Miami goes, the only person worth trusting in this offense to provide fantasy value, I think, is Devontae Parker. Amazing to hear anyone say that, but he's provided mid to low wide receiver 2 numbers almost the entire season. I saw, what was it? I want to say he's wide receiver 22 on the season, and it's had only, I want to say 8 less targets than Odell Beckham, only 6 less catches, but has twice as many touchdowns. So Parker is definitely a guy that I think is the only one on Miami that's worth using in terms of fantasy. Overall, the score, I think that Philadelphia comes back and wins this one after a tough loss last week. Their defense has been playing very well for the most part, so I say Philadelphia wins this one 28-17 over Miami.
Well, I give the Eagles a win, but 24-7.
Okay.
All right, Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Obviously, we know who got the best of the first matchup, but now we'll find out about your man Hodges.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes in this game. I really think that Mayfield comes back and does have a semi-decent game again against Pittsburgh. I think it's a little bit different this one because it will be in Pittsburgh. So Cleveland may struggle a little bit, but what's helped out Mayfield, honestly, has been Kareem Hunt coming back. He's been used so much in the passing game. He's had as many targets as Jarvis Landry has, almost as many as Jarvis Landry has over the last 3 weeks. And so really the 4 guys that you really want in this offense are going to be Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Jarvis Landry, and then Odell Beckham. I think that Landry and Beckham are definitely wide receiver 2s for this matchup. Nick Chubb is a running back 1. He should provide close to top 5 running back numbers. He should at least provide top 10 running back numbers in this game. And Kareem Hunt could surprise and pop for some decent numbers as well. He's at least worth the flex play, even in 10-team leagues. Should provide close to running back 2 numbers. And we're still waiting to see if David Njoku officially gets activated for this week. If not, there isn't a tight end we're trusting in the Browns offense. As far as Pittsburgh goes, Devlin Hodges, you're only using him in a super flex in a deep league if you're absolutely desperate. He's going to be hard to trust. Right now, Jalen Samuels, it looks like it's going to be Benny Snell this week. With him getting 22 touches to Jalen Samuels' 5 last week, it looks like Benny Snell is going to be the running back to look at for this game. I'm still hesitant to trust any of that for this week. And so I'm not really going anywhere near the running backs for Pittsburgh. As far as the wide receivers, again, we're still waiting to see what's going on with Juju Smith-Schuster's knee. It's possible they sit him out another week, and it's James Washington and Deontay Johnson. They're kind of in that flex play range against this Cleveland defense. Kind of hard to trust, but if you need the depth at wide receiver, they could possibly provide value. And Vance McDonald, again, he is another guy that I'm just not kind of been back and forth on all year. He'll provide top 10 tight end numbers and then just disappear. With Devlin Hodges, Hodges may look his way a bunch in this game just because of needing to find an outlet. So Vance McDonald is hard to trust unless in deeper leagues. So overall in this game, I do think Cleveland possibly wins this game again because of the lack of firepower for Pittsburgh. So I'm going to say that Cleveland wins this one 21-17.
I'll go the other way with Pittsburgh 21-17 and give the benefit of the doubt to the quarterback.
Okay.
All right, LA Rams against Arizona.
This may be the first time I actually predict an Arizona win. The defense for Arizona has been playing tough against a lot of teams all year, just not tough enough to come up with a whole lot of wins. Jared Goff has been an embarrassment, really, is the best way to put it over the last really 16 games going into last year in the playoffs. So Goff, I do not trust really in this game. Todd Gurley, I think that he could have a decent game. He's definitely worth a running back 2 look. As far as the wide receivers, Cooper Kupp, I don't know if Cooper Kupp, I think I can trust as a wide receiver 2, but nothing better until we see more. He's had, I want to say, 4 out of his last 5 games, he has not broken 10 points in half-point PPR. So, again, he is definitely a guy that's going to be hard to trust this week. Really, the wide receivers are going to be hard to trust overall. I think that their wide receiver 2 to wide receiver 3s is the best that I could put for them. Gerald Everett, he may be hard to trust this week just because he's kind of been nursing an injury and not sure if he's going to be completely healthy for this game. As far as Arizona goes, Kyler Murray has been looking very good. He should provide top 10 quarterback type numbers. Kenyon Drake has been looking very good, is definitely worth the flex play. David Johnson has not been healthy. I think that they may get to the point where they just sit him. So Kenyon Drake has taken over the starting role for the Arizona Cardinals. Definitely not something that we thought we would hear at the beginning of the year. And as far as the wide receivers go, it's Christian Kirk, wide receiver 2, with Larry Fitzgerald flex in deeper leagues. So overall, in this one, I really think that Arizona wins this one. So I'm going to give it to Arizona over the Rams, 21-17.
Yeah, I actually like Arizona too at 29-20. I like Murray, and the Rams defense didn't show me anything against Baltimore. Then again, nobody does. But I like Kyler Murray. The more I see this kid, the more that the Cardinals definitely got it right picking this guy. He's definitely going to be a difference maker as his career progresses, providing he stays healthy.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to Kansas City, where the Oakland Raiders make their final appearance as Oakland in Arrowhead against the Chiefs. Tell me a little bit about Josh Jacobs. You think he's going to have a decent game?
Josh Jacobs should have a good game against Kansas City, just because Kansas City struggles so much against the run game. I don't know if I can trust Derek Carr even in garbage time. Jacobs, I think, is a solid running back too. Tyrell Williams, I think, can provide wide receiver 3 numbers. Hit a couple of deep balls, and that could be what does it for him. Darren Waller should put up top 10 tight end numbers. As far as Kansas City goes, obviously you're starting Patrick Mahomes. The running backs, whether it ends up being Damian Williams or LaShawn McCoy, you never know. So I think both of them are kind of flex plays that possibly could break out. Tyreek Hill, obviously you're going to start. Sammy Watkins, I have a hard time trusting him. I would rather start, in my opinion, Mecole Hardman over Sammy Watkins. I think both of them are flex plays. And Travis Kelce obviously is a tight end one. I think that Kansas City should get a win in this one. I'm going to say Kansas City. I'm going to say Kansas City 38-21 over Oakland.
Yeah, I got Kansas City winning, but 27-16. All right, okay. The Chargers and the Denver Broncos.
Well, it looks like we were saying, it looks like Drew Lock may get his first start in this one. And really, the Chargers' defense has played semi-decently. It's really their offense. It's really been putrid. This is the best way to put it.
Right.
Phillip Rivers has been a turnover machine, and so I don't trust him in terms of his overall value. Really, the value lies with the running backs. Gordon and Eckler have been great this year. Since he really got into a rhythm after his first couple weeks, he's been performed very well. I think both of them could provide running back 2 numbers. Keenan Allen is the best option in terms of the wide receivers. He gets targeted enough that he should provide wide receiver 2 numbers, even against this Denver defense. Mike Williams is a boomer bust guy. He's never a guy that I can really trust. So he's a flex play at best. If you have better options, go with him. Hunter Henry should put up top 10 tight end numbers. He's been an absolute machine since he came back off of injury. Again, moving to Denver, the 2 best options in terms of their fantasy value is going to be Phillip Lindsay, who's taken over the running back role in Denver, and then Cortland Sutton. We'll see what kind of connection he has with Drew Lock and whether they can get that going this year. But I'm kind of downgrading, at least for right now. I'm downgrading Cortland Sutton. So overall, I think that the Chargers do get a win in this one. I think it may be a little bit of a struggle. I think the Chargers do get the win, so I'm going to go Chargers 17-14 over Denver.
And, you know, for the